Welcome to Navigating Your 20s. I'm your host, Jess Hugo, and I am so excited to have you here. I'm an online personal trainer and nutritionist, but honestly, underneath it all, I am just a girl who is struggling, thriving, and surviving somehow all at once. So if this is you, you are not alone. If you want all the juicy tea on what it's like to be a girl navigating her 20s, I'm talking relationships, health, fitness, social life, work, and everything in between, then you're in the right place.
Hello girlies, welcome back to another episode. Why do I feel like I haven't given a life update for so long? I feel like sometimes I'm great, I'm on fire, I'm giving life updates, then I'm giving advice, I'm talking through this and that, and it's like bang, bang, bang. Sometimes I'm not even letting you in. Sometimes I'm not giving you the life update. So life updates. Okay, it's August and we are going through everything, right? So I have really been wanting to figure out where am I heading in the next couple of months. I spent a lot of the time last week with my one-on-ones talking, where are we currently at with the goals we set? For me, a lot of my one-to-ones are long-term clients. I set goals with them in January. We're in August and we are doing a little bit of a reset. The thing about coaching is some people come in and want to be in for a couple of weeks and go, and that is fine if that's what you want to do. But if you're one of those people, you're probably like wondering why you never see results, and that is why. So I am quite blessed at the moment with a lot of long-term girls, and I was like, okay girls, let's lock in, let's reflect on what we set in January, February maybe, and let's do a little bit of a mini reset. Not everyone needs that. So if you're like, why didn't you do a mini reset with me? Not everyone needs that. Some people are just on fire all the time. Some people need different things at different times, but I want you to reflect on what you said on your Pinterest board, what your goals were in January, what you wrote down. Was it in your notes? Was it in a diary? Like, what did you write in your diary or your journal, and where have you gone with it? So I remember I made a whole episode on this and sharing it all with you guys anyway. So if you want to go back and listen to that episode before I start talking to make it make sense a little bit more, go ahead, but I'll try to recap a little bit. So I, for example, set out about wanting to travel a little bit, just interstate, not overseas yet. I think I told you guys, I did want to book a cruise overseas, but it's so hard to figure out where you're going to be in business. And I never even thought that I would be where I am now. And it just would not have aligned. Like, I would have been jetting off this month. Is that not insane? Jetting off, because I had to fly there to get on the cruise. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Next year, 2026, let's hope. But I set out different goals about wanting to travel interstate. I wanted to go to Melbourne. I've never been to Melbourne. Is that not insane? I think I may have put down Perth. I've been to Queensland before, so I doubt I put it down, but I just wanted to travel more, do more, and I've only gone to the Sunshine Coast, but I did go to Port Macquarie. I do go to Lake Macquarie / Newcastle a lot, so I have been keeping up my word on that end, and I was like really thinking on it, and then I was like, okay, what have my clients been doing? What have they not been doing? All of the things. So then I was like, girl, do what you say you're going to do. Reflect on what you haven't done in that. So I am currently trying to plan Melbourne for the end of the year. Watch this space. I have no idea where I'm going to stay. I have no idea what I'm going to do. If you have recommendations, send them through to me, because as I said, I've never been. I'm such a loser. I'm pretty sure my mum was like to me, oh, I went when I was like pregnant with you. And I was like, it doesn't count. Do your parents ever do that? Like, yes, you've been, like, you were a baby. No, girl, if I can't remember, or if I was in the womb and I wasn't even alive, girl, I don't even know. I wasn't even breathing out this fucking oxygen, girl. I don't know. So I've never been, okay? I've never been. So send me through your recommendations. I would love, love, love to know what you guys are into. All the time I'm like, give me recommendations, and then you guys actually send me such good stuff, so I appreciate it. Just slide in my DMs. I couldn't even care less if we've talked before or not. I'm a freak like that. I'm actually a bit of a freak. Like, I will randomly just message girls and they probably think, what the hell? Sometimes I actually have to like refrain, because I actually have an example. I have no idea who this girl is. We just follow each other. I don't know her. She's just a normal, like, she's not influencer. Like, she's just a normal gal. I'm pretty sure she's like a mum. I don't know anything about her, but whenever I look up places in Newcastle, she always follows them. So I'm going to assume and go out on a limb that she lives in Newcastle. And then I always want to message her and be like, hey, like, what do you think of this cafe? And I'm like, girl, you need to relax. You're actually a creep. Like, she's going to be like, how do you know I live here? But is that not, that's just proof like how low-key scary and dangerous socials can be. Like, I literally am assuming where she lives based on the fact that she follows like local fucking cafes and bakeries. Like, is that not insane? Anyway, I'm actually getting off track, but this is why I wanted to do an episode like this, because I just feel like I haven't yapped with you guys in so long, and I love going like, I actually find that if podcasts are too like informative, I zone out. But if you're just like talking shit, I love to hear it. Even if I know nothing about you. I was listening to a podcast this morning and it was these girls. I had no idea who they were. I was literally looking up their Instagram, but I was just like listening along, like laughing. I didn't even know what the fuck they were talking about, but it's just so chill. And I'm all here for educational podcasts and like upskilling and learning more and all these things, but sometimes you just want to hear Christine Kelly yapping on Back to the Bar. Okay, bestie? Like, it's totally, if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't. I'm kind of rewatching Dance Moms at the moment every time I work out. Sue me. So I love just listening to random shit. So anyway, back to my goals. I'm 17 books behind my reading goal. 17. Do you know that's 17 weeks? Because I set out, or like ish weeks, because I set out to read 70 books. Obviously there's 52 weeks, so it's like 4 days, but like it's technically 17 weeks. That's a lot of books behind. Like, how the hell am I going to catch up? I have no idea. I spent this whole weekend, Sunday, resetting, reading, just trying to like really come back to my goals. I find when I'm very busy in the work era or very social and things, I find I can get really drained and let the little non-negotiables slip, such as like cleaning up my room. Just even when I say cleaning up, not just like clothes, but like vacuuming my space, dusting my space. You know, when your mirror gets all dusty and you go to take a selfie and it's like all dusty and you're like, what the fuck? Like that type of stuff. So I've been really, really trying to spend intentional time getting back into that. So I spent this weekend doing a bit of a reset. I just went to bed early on Friday night. Oh no, I went to the Muscle Republic sale. So I went to bed early on Saturday night, ready to wake up and do shit in the morning. I spent an hour in bed reading. I vacuumed, dusted, like did all of these things. It literally the vacuum died of me. Just to get a bit of a reset, I even went and vacuumed and cleaned the gym because it was crazy messy after all the sessions on Friday. It was actually insane and I was getting overstimulated and I didn't have time to clean between people because everyone goes back to back. And I was like to the last person, I was like, I am so sorry that it is such a mess in here. It was like probably 2:00 and I was training since 6:30, and imagine how many girls came in between 6:30 and 2, and I was like, I am so sorry that it is such a mess in here. Pretend you can't see it because it was like insane. Anyway, so I want to spend more time being intentional with my non-negotiables, off my phone more, notifications off, checking things less. I find sometimes I will go out of my way to open an app, close an app, open an app, close an app. Like, I'm bored on my apps. So why am I still like going? I'm like, relax, girl. Go read a book. Go clean your space. Go write in your journal. Go, do something to just like move the needle forward, because I put a poll up on my Instagram. So I know a lot of you agree with me with this, but messy space equals messy mind. And anytime I feel chaotic upstairs, meaning my brain, just with a lot of things going on, if I'm walking into a messy room, I'm not going to feel calm. But if I'm walking into a clean space, I'm going to feel calm. And I know that this year, that was my intention with this space. I got this chair. I got like I've never been able to have white things because my partner is a chronically dirty motherfucker with his tradie hands. So he makes everything dirty because his hands are always really dirty and they're like stained. They're like permanently stained. But anyway, so I was never able to have nice things. And I was like, no, I need my own room space that I can have these nice things. And I want to keep them nice. So that is on me. I'm taking responsibility for that. I need to keep it nice and clean because it helps me come in here and have clarity. And it's just so nice. And then when you have a nice clean space, it is so easy to be calm and read or color in or anything. And I find I'm reaching for those things less. So I'm like, okay, I need to clear my space. So that's what I did on the weekend. And then I put up a poll and a lot of you said you were lacking routine on Sunday. You didn't know where to start, what to do. So I'm going to talk through kind of what I did. But before I get into it, I've really been focusing as well on deepening connections, getting closer with the people I want to get close with, distancing myself and not putting up with shit from people that I don't feel aligned with. It is really, really hard. And I think I have talked on this like maybe once or twice. Obviously, I don't know many people that do what I do. Even with tax time, my mum was like, you can go to this accountant. And I was like, it's literally an old man. I need like a young girl who understands the social media game, who understands this, that. I don't need this crusty, dusty old man. No offense to this old man. Sure, he's great. But I was like, I need someone young and fresh and vibey. Okay, I need someone that is aligned and understands. And I feel the same with friendships, relationships, everything. I'm like, you feel unaligned right now and I'm distancing myself. Or like if someone like does you dirty, how many times when you were younger or even maybe currently, do you go back time and time again because you're bored? Or you just like forgive them because you're just like, whatever, not me. Could never be me. Nah, done. And I feel like that is such a confidence thing that it took me so long to learn. But if you're not even doing a Sunday reset routine, you're not feeling like you have much structure in your life, everything's feeling quite chaotic instead of simple, it is so easy to just forgive and forget for all of these dramas and things. And that is where we get stuck in this constant cycle. If you feel like you are constantly going through the same shit over and over, having the same discussions, having the same shit happen, feeling like you're stuck in the same place month after month after month, it is time to set up a routine. It's time to set up something that is really simple and plays into actually listening to your body, knowing what feels good for you, but also pushing you a little bit. I want you to reflect on the last couple of months, maybe the goals. Did you pull open the goals that you set in January? How many have you achieved? There's no right or wrong. You could have achieved none and that's okay because there's still like multiple months left in the year. But what cycle have you been in? Have you been chasing your tail in the same cycle for months and months on end and not seeing much change? Something I actually want you to do. Oh, fuck, I left my phone on the ground. Okay, I put in ChatGPT my curse for, there's like a trend going around and it's like, what's my curse? And mine called me out. Girls, I'm going to have to find it quickly because I cannot even remember. No, I'm just going to have to grab my phone and be super rogue and get out of the same position on the camera and everything. But basically, you ask ChatGPT your curse, and if you have used it before, which you need to kind of, I don't want to like talk much on this because I don't know shit about AI and stuff like that, but you need to use it enough that it kind of gets your personality and stuff first. So if you're someone that's never really used it before, it's just going to throw random shit at you. But if you are someone that uses it regularly or it knows your personality, it's going to be way better. Because I actually saw a girl I'm friends with post that it didn't understand her at all and it didn't know anything about her. And I was like, I'm curious to know if she actually uses it, because if you don't use it enough, like it won't understand your tonality and things like that. So if you go ahead and do this, just know that if you've never used it before, you're going to get the most rogue response ever. Mine gets all my fucking crazy thoughts. Wait, I'm just leaning down to get my phone. We are not doing silence on the podcast, so oh god, there we go. Okay, sorry, I can't believe I did that because I even left it on the screen with the curse. Okay, so what's my curse without any explanation is what you put in to ChatGPT. It said to me, always wanting more, even when you have enough. Feeling called out, feeling attacked. Always wanting more, even when you have enough. Which is something that can be so common. I have more to say on this, but it's something that can be so common in your 20s because I've talked about this before. You achieve one thing and then you're ready to be on to the next. You get some type of goal and then you think once you get there, oh, that wasn't even good enough, that wasn't even a big deal, keep going. And I've talked about this before because I mentioned that I kind of almost lovingly force my girls to actually reward themselves and kind of treat themselves and make a massive deal out of different achievements. Whether it seems big to you or not, it is a big deal because we worked for it for so long, and that's what I'm really heavy on. So it can be really easy to just move past things and think, oh, it wasn't even a big deal, even if you spent so long working to it. And I do the same. And I know ChatGPT call me out because I do the same. I will be like, I just want this, and then I have it, and then like I'm like, okay, but I also just want this, and like it's a lot. So I didn't even doubt this, but let me tell you the rest. So I wrote, now explain. Your curse is the constant feeling of dissatisfaction. No matter what you achieve, there's always another level you're chasing. It's like you can never fully sit in the joy of what you've already built because your mind is already racing towards the next goal. It can feel like ambition and drive, which are strengths, but the shadow side is restlessness and never feeling done or truly content. I felt that heavy because what do you mean? I always just move on to the next goal. It's so true. It is so true. I know that I have achieved things before that I've said that I've wanted to achieve, and then I'm just like, okay, cool, next. And I never celebrate myself in it. And I don't know, I can't blame anyone but myself because you are responsible for this. You need to go and celebrate yourself. You need to go if you want to take yourself out to dinner, whatever. But I know before I've achieved things and I've like told my partner, they don't get like, no, outsiders do not get this. So I understand exactly why I got this response, but it was just like, oh, cool. So then it almost dims me thinking, oh, cool. Okay, like next, right? So it's like if you achieve something and you go tell your best friend and then your best friend doesn't really give a shit, it makes you feel like it wasn't a big deal. And that's why I think it's all within capacity and who you're in close proximity with. Because, for example, if one of my girls came to me saying I lost 10 kilos, I would be celebrating the fuck out of her, because that is what we're working towards and that is like our proximity in our relationship. But then if they maybe told their bestie they lost 10 kilos, their bestie could potentially not be happy for them. Their bestie could potentially not congratulate them, and maybe their bestie could go behind their back and talk about them and things like that. So it's like all very context dependent, but it's like, how can we actually not look for external validation and just be happy within ourselves? And it actually happened the other day. I sent something to a friend and then they were like, oh, by the way, I don't know if I said, but like that looks really nice. And then I was like, oh, like it's fine, like I don't need your validation, like you don't need to say that to me, like I know that it looks nice, so I don't need you to say it. But I never was this way. I never had the confidence. I never really had the, like I still don't feel like I have the best aligned friendships ever. Like I have a handful, but I don't feel like I have the most aligned friendships where I can talk about the things I want to talk about all of the time. But I know the goals I have. I know the things I'm working towards, and I really, really want you to go do the curse and see what it says and come back to listen to the rest of this episode. But I never felt this way, being really assured and feeling really confident, because I used to lack so much confidence, and it tied really heavily into my body, my lack of structure and simplicity in my day. I never knew what was right to do. Until this year, really, I didn't realize there's no right or wrong. If you want to wake up on a Sunday and spend an hour in bed, that is great. If you want to wake up on a Sunday and get up and go for a run, that is great. But what is not great, and what is kind of wrong, if you will, is bedrotting the whole entire day and then beating yourself up about it. Getting out of that guilt. So I always felt very guilty. I was like, why can't I get up and go for a run? Why do I not have the perfect routine? Why am I not disciplined enough? Why am I not motivated enough? Like X, Y, Z, insert the thing that you tell yourself. But in reality, you might look at where I am at now and think, oh my God, how is she so confident that she doesn't even care what like other people say? That she's just talking about everything and she doesn't even care. Story time. I literally once went to a work event, someone's farewell party, but from my workplace, with my jeans literally unzipped under my jacket because they didn't fit me, because they wouldn't zip up. And I literally went through my camera roll on the weekend and saw one photo that I took at the event, and I literally was like, ew. I literally thought, what the fuck was I wearing? I was wearing literally like a cropped puffer with these tight, obviously too tight because I didn't zip up, skinny jeans. And I feel like I looked stupid. And I remember in this time though, this was when I got the PCOS diagnosis. I was gaining heaps of weight. I was really, really struggling with my confidence and my self-esteem and everything like that. But I literally was so embarrassed to be there. I kept pulling the jacket down to make sure no one could see the zip. I kept worrying about the zip. I felt like when I talk about going to events and having that tight toned body, the tight outfit, the trendy outfit, you guys like don't understand that I literally would go to these events feeling like shit. I didn't want to be there, but I didn't want to miss my friend's farewell either. And I remember I was like, I'm not going to go clubbing after. Like, everyone was going clubbing after. I was like, I'm not staying, I'm not clubbing, I'm not drinking. I don't drink, but I was like, I'm not doing any of that because I feel so shit right now. I feel fugly in this outfit. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why don't these jeans fit? Why can I never fit into anything? I can't go shopping and get anything. Like, I really want you to know that if you're struggling right now, I have literally been in the same place. I have gone through multiple items in my wardrobe and them having never fit me. I have always been the overweight friend, overweight sibling, like all of the things. And I've struggled with all of those things you're struggling with. And I just think right now, if you're in that place, the things I want you to lean into is getting into a good routine, finding things that actually light you up and fill your cup, reevaluating your friendships, going through periods of loneliness, but to find those aligned friendships, because I know how hard it is to not be celebrated by your friends, to feel inferior because you don't have the cutest, trendiest thing. You aren't the skinniest friend in the group. You aren't the fittest friend in the group. You don't have the same interests as the friends in the group. And I think sometimes when that happens, you just need to do a full factory reset, and it's actually okay. There's nothing wrong with not being friends with someone anymore. There's nothing wrong with being like, okay, that didn't work out. I'm going to try something else. Because I knew in that moment, well, actually, when the jeans didn't fit, afterwards I went and got ice cream. Admittedly, I went and got ice cream because I felt shit about myself, right? But then I was like, this is so dumb. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I would rather miss out on a couple of things than feel like this. Because I know right now you're like, oh, well, I kind of want to work towards it, but then I can't go on date night, or I can't hang out with the girls every weekend, or I can't get takeaway, which A, is not true, but we're not going down that route. But B, choose your hard. Because I knew in that exact moment, it was so hard for me to sit there and feel so ugly in my outfit, feel like I didn't belong, feel really uncomfortable. You know when your jeans are too tight and it's like so tight across your like stomach and it's like digging in and you literally feel sick? That was me. I'm pretty sure I couldn't even sit down, and I stood the whole entire time. And I literally felt so embarrassed. So I don't know what I was kind of getting at, really. I'm just sharing, I guess, because I've been there before and I know how hard it is. But just because just because you have no confidence right now, or you're feeling really low right now, doesn't mean there's not confidence within. Because I used to think I had no confidence, and now sometimes I just do things out of nowhere, like talking to I used to not even be able to order my own like food or drink or whatever because I couldn't talk to the server, the staff member. And now I literally can like approach them when they're like not even paying attention. Like I'll be like, I'll just go ask them. I'll just go ask. So if you think there's no way that's going to happen for me, I have no confidence, I have a bad routine, all of the things, if there's a will, there's a way. If you're willing to open up and lean forward, then you will be able to find your confidence. Because trust me, I never knew that I would be in this position. I never knew that I'd be able to, like, literally all these jeans I have right now like don't even fucking fit me because they're so big. They're literally, it's so annoying. Jeans are just annoying. That's the fucking thing with that. But I went from literally not even being able to zip things. I couldn't button them up. I had them unzipped because I couldn't even do the button. Like, so it was just like I just was raw dogging it. I just had them out. Like, what the fuck? And now I have the opposite problem, and none of them fucking fit me properly. But anyway. So I'm going to tell you what I did on a Sunday reset quickly, and then you can write down what you're going to do for the Sunday reset for yourself. So as I said, I did all the cleaning and things, I did the reading and stuff like that, and then I did a workout, just a 30-minute stretch out workout, something slow and intentional, because I didn't want to be doing anything super high intensity or stressing on the body. If you want to run or something, like, that's your prerogative, like, you do that, but I liked really doing that and getting really slow and intentional. Also, Lord's new album, Virgin, on in the background. So good. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with her. And then just actually getting out my diary and brain dumping. I've talked about brain dumping before, but essentially anything that is top of mind for you, write it down. Lately, I've actually been before bed struggling with that again, which is weird. It's popping up again. I haven't been struggling with that for maybe 6 months, but really getting in the headspace of I'm just going to write everything down that I'm thinking and feeling, and I'm going to deal with it in the morning if it's at night. And then if it's in your Sunday morning reset, writing anything that's top of mind and planning for your week ahead. Even if just roughly, I just started roughly putting things in my calendar that I needed to get done around my bookings that I already had, and just being able to be adaptive. So for the example, this morning I had in 9 a.m. to train, but then I woke up earlier than I just woke up. And then I started training earlier, and then my morning actually got pushed earlier. I could have waited around for 9 a.m. and all of the things, but I was like, why? I don't need to be so like rigid with my structure, so I can like move things around as well. So even if you set on Sunday that on Monday you're going to train at 9 a.m., you can change that around. Whatever you need to do, just put them in there in some type of place. Like I have a couple brand things that I need to get done and a couple like non-negotiables I need to get done, and I just put them in there. But it is okay to move the times around. I just was like, oh, I might be able to get them done at this time based on other things going on in my schedule. And lastly, writing down one thing that you're going to do to fill your cup every single day. So I've started penciling in time for an intentional lunch break outside in the sun and reading time, even if it's just half an hour, because how the fuck am I going to get this 17 books and 70 book goal in general? It's insane. But really making sure that you are making time. If you have a 9 to 5, your weekend needs to be so intentional. Otherwise, when are you filling your cup? I bet right now for you, it feels like every single week you're living for the weekend, and then the weekend happens so quickly and it just rolls round and round and round. So where can you fill your cup? Where can you do a full factory reset? That is all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Rate the podcast 5 stars. God, I'm buffering. Rate the podcast 5 stars if you loved it, and I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. That's a wrap on another episode of Navigating Your 20s. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time to listen. If you enjoyed the conversation, vibes, and got something out of today, please feel free to send me a DM with any key takeaways and feedback, or share on your socials and tag me so we can connect. If you liked today's episode and you're wanting more from me, you can find me on all socials at success.withjess.